So, what I'd like to do for my introduction, in this past school year, I'm in a class called APC, and it's like Advanced PE. As an officer, adjunct resource officer to my classes tonight. We talked about e-cigarettes, and he mentioned how the story of Hansel and Gretel goes along with e-cigarettes, that look on the outside and what's on the inside. So I'm going to take that story and turn it into a spiritual kind of story. So I hope we all know the story of Hansel and Gretel. But basically, it's during the Great Depression, and this family is starving, and so the mom came up with an idea that they're going to leave their children in the forest. So we see here that the mom pushes them aside and says, "Look, if we keep these children, then we're going to starve." And I guess I'll take this piece by piece. So in Nahum 1:7, it says, "The Lord is good and a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knows those who take refuge in him." So if we take refuge in the Lord and not in man, then the Lord will not push us aside. He actually wants to be with us, only if we turn to him. And then in Proverbs 3:5, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding." So if we lean on ourselves, we're not going to get very far. I have experience with this. If you try to huddle yourself in a corner and try as hard as you can to get through life, you're not going to make it. So you really have to trust on the Lord all that you can. And so these two children, they go back home. The mother realizes that they followed their way back home and were able to get back home. And so she pushes them out into the forest again. And these children are not able to find their way back home, and they find this gingerbread house. And on the outside it looks great. And then they meet this little old lady who looks nice on the inside, or on the outside, sorry. And they come into this house and they have their fun. And then the old lady takes one of the children and puts him into a cage without the other child knowing. So the witch, or the old lady, looks great on the outside. That's how sin is. It looks good and it looks great, but then you realize as you get farther and farther into it, you start realizing this isn't good. So, and that's how the house of candy is, the gingerbread house. On the inside, it's not so great. On the outside, it looks great. You want to take part in this wonderful event. So that goes back to the point of trusting in the Lord and realizing what's good and what's bad. So the children eventually find their way out, and they escape, and they actually help each other, push each other along. And Proverbs 27:17 says, "Iron sharpens iron, so one man encourages another." So if we help each other, push each other along, we're going to make it through the end of that trial. We're going to get through there. So only if we lean on God and we can help one another get through that trial. So only if you trust in the Lord you'll get out. That's the main point that I want to put in here, is that you can't lean on your own understanding. Jeremiah 10:23 says, "I know, O Lord, that a man's way is not in himself, nor is it in a man who walks and directs his own steps." So this is very important. If you follow your own understanding, a man's understanding is not the way of the Lord. So the children find their way back home, and the wife has run away while the dad is still there. And that's how God is. He stays there until the end. He'll always come back to you, only if you come back to him. You see that the father didn't go out looking for his children, but the wife ran away and did not come back, but the father stayed at home. And so at the end of the story, they were able to live happily ever able to prosper on throughout there. So we see here that if we hold strong with one another, we encourage one another, then we can get through the trial at hand. So if you have trouble or you're not able to get help, please come to one of us and we can help you. Please stand with us.